Yo, what's good, y'all? I know you gotta look at me, ugly mug. How y'all doing though? I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope everybody doing all right. You're eh? Crazy face. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I hope everybody is doing good though. I know I am. Chill. I'm just chillaxing. Yeah. So as you saw on the thumbnail, you already know what we're gonna be talking today. I'm just gonna give it maybe a minute more. See who else wants to hop in here. Man, like I said, like the last live stream I did, we talked about like how popping TV is right now, bro. And like, yo, it's continued. Like I would say, there like a lot of like Stranger Things is about to come back. The Boys obviously is still going. I think they have 2 episodes left. I'm going to do a review on episode 6 on Thursday. I'm gonna post it Thursday night. I'm gonna do a review of it. Then I'm gonna do a review of episode 7. I'm gonna try and either drop it or do a live stream on Saturday. I haven't decided yet, so we'll play it by ear with that. But then when Stranger Things comes back, I'm gonna try and go ahead and watch that. So we'll see what's up. All right, but without further, what was that? Let me get a freaking drink. All right, there we go. So without further, God. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Kenobi. So I'm going to start this off by saying that I like this show. Did I like it a lot? No. Did I love it? No. Like I liked it. I thought it was good. And maybe with me just liking it, and maybe me thinking, I also thought it was fine. Maybe that in itself spells disappointment for the show. But I don't believe that. And the reason why I don't believe that is because this show had a lot of great things in it. Um, you know, and it had a lot of things that I didn't like, obviously, as I said. But I feel the good outweighs the bad. And I'm just gonna start it off because I know the fan base is definitely like this is another divisive project amongst the Star Wars fan base. But look, I'm one of those Star Wars fans. I just don't care what the fan base thinks. I like what I like from Star Wars, and I say how I feel about it. And I'm just gonna say this: like all of the Disney Star Wars stuff, and I'm gonna start it off on the top like this. All of the Disney Star Wars stuff, um, it hasn't been perfect, of course not. And I'm not going to be a person that's going to sit here and defend, the Disney era of Star Wars because there's been a lot of garbage within it. I'm not denying that. The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker was trash. Actually, I can't say Last Jedi was trash. I think Last Jedi definitely squandered a lot of the potential that it had. Rise of Skywalker was trash, but I liked Solo. I like Rogue. I loved Rogue One a lot. Actually, I love that film a lot. So it's been a lot of good. We got Rebels out of it. We're getting good stuff. Obviously, Mandalorian. We're getting dope stuff. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I feel like there's like Star Wars cannot get even Rise of Skywalker cannot get as bad as the George Lucas prequels were. That I feel that way. The prequels are absolute garbage. The only reason why we look back and like it is because of the expanded material that fleshes the story out more and gives you more in terms of the characters than George Lucas gave you and way better writing. George Lucas is a horrible filmmaker. And I know that's crazy to say because he made Star Wars, but the reason why, from my perspective, it seems like Star Wars turned out the way it did because of the collaborative effort that Lucas had around him. When it came down to the prequels, it just seemed like he had yes men around him. Not even seemed that's what it was. If you watch it behind the scenes, you would see like the people on set. Yes, George, that's awesome. Jar Jar Binks, totally cool. Kids are gonna love him. I hate sand. Great writing, George. Like that's what you got you know, in the making of the prequels. And That's why you got garbage, mostly garbage with the prequels. People like to highlight Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith, we like that film because of the Kenobi fight and a lot of the Anakin Kenobi fight, and a lot of the you know the fan service within that film leading into the Imperial era of Star Wars. And that, I think that's why people like Revenge of the Sith a lot. Like the fight sequences in there were garbage. Like go watch that fight between Mace and Palpatine and tell me that like come on, bro. And for me, and I'm going to save the Anakin Obi-Wan fight choreography as well, because a lot of people like they talk about the action within the prequels, where the prequels had a couple scenes where the action was good, but other than that, not great though. So this argument that people make about Star Wars now being so garbage, like we've heard it before with the prequels, we're hearing it now with the sequel trilogy. They're going to come back and do expanded material to fix a lot of the mistakes they made with the sequel trilogy, just like they did with the prequels. Like I don't get. This is why I like Star Wars fans. We've been through this. I really don't get the rah rah when it comes to this show. So I wanted to start it off there and just give my opinions on the type of Star Wars fan I am, because for the most part, I think George Lucas ruined Star Wars with the prequels. Oh, so continuing on, I'm going to start off with like the elephant in the room. I liked Reva as a character, but her scenes in this show, they were like just very distracting. It was like, I don't know, man, like distracting from this episode specifically, like and we're going to transition into talking about episode 6 now. I liked Reva in this episode, in the final and the sixth episode, but it was distracting from what we all wanted to see, which was the Vader Obi-Wan fight. That's what everybody was in this show for, and you can clearly tell that was the center focus of this show. Now I've been reading a lot of things, articles, and watching a lot of videos of people saying that this was originally supposed to be a movie, but because Solo flopped, um, they decided to not do a film and make it a show. Now that sucks, because I think Solo was a good film. I really think Solo was a good film. Solo was cool. And it's like, because Harrison Ford has such a legacy in Star Wars, anybody, whoever they picked to play him was going to get that scrutiny, and this movie was going to get that scrutiny. I thought he was good as Han Solo. I liked him as Han Solo. He played more of the rough, ragged Han Solo than the hero archetype that we got in like The Force Awakens and things like that. Like, even though he was still kind of the scoundrel in that film, like, I don't know. I really liked this, this Han Solo. Now, obviously, like, classic Han Solo is the best version of Han Solo. I'm not arguing that. Like, classic, obviously. Like, I'm not arguing that. But what I am saying is that, like, the hate that Solo got was ridiculous. And it led to this not being a film, which I think it would have worked better as a film, honestly. I don't know why they just didn't do a Disney Plus film, but I don't think Ewan McGregor would have went for that. I'm surprised he went for TV, because he's usually in movies. So I'm kind of surprised he went for that, but we got it. They brought back Hayden Christensen and all that to be in it. But Reva, she was just like, her arc was very distracting. And then the whole concept of going to the well of Luke Skywalker again. Now, I was already like annoyed by bringing in Leia, especially as a kid, because I'm the type, I usually don't like kids and stuff. It's very rare. Like Mandalorian, I like when the action's happening. When they're focusing on Baby Yoda, I don't care. Up until he went to train with Luke Skywalker, that's when I was like, all right, now I kind of care. But usually I don't care about kid characters, because I like, that's just not my cup of tea personally. Like, so like bringing in another kid that I was going to be annoyed by in Luke Skywalker, it just seemed unnecessary. And then on top of that, to risk the canon, the canon folk they were already bitching about Leia and a lot of the other canon stuff, and then you just added a whole nother one with Luke Skywalker. Now they played it good, where basically Luke didn't see her with the lightsaber. So in episode 4, when he's holding Anakin's lightsaber, his father's lightsaber, and he's so astonished and shocked by it as if he's never seen one, he probably hasn't, because he was knocked out when Reva took him, basically came and got him and took him back to the Lars family after chasing him out into the wilderness and all that. So And I wish we would have got more of the Lars family without this like action sequence. Hey yo, Amber Rue was on go, bro. She said, "Let's go." I'm ready to clap Shorty. She pulling up. I'm ready to clap her, dog. They almost had her too. Baru almost had her, like dead to rights, headshot, dome shot, bing, almost had her, but they didn't get her. But yeah, so the Reva stuff, the Luke stuff, I just it just wasn't. Every time they cut over to that, I'm like, please go back to this to the Vader fight. Literally on YouTube now, I just rewatched the fight, and they have it. They have the Reva stuff clipped out. And again, it sucks because I think she had the potential to be a really good character, but the way they handled her and this and I'm going to get into that more when I talk about the overall show later. But dude, seeing Vader chase after Obi-Wan in like the beginning and Leia too as well, because Leia's in the ship as well, reminiscent of episode 4, like just that opening sequence when Leia's Corvette is flying, and then you got the Imperial starship chasing after her, shooting at it. It was very reminiscent of that, and it was kind of cool to see, honestly. Like it harkened back to classic Star Wars, and given that you have Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan in here, it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like we know eventually he's going to be like in this aesthetic of Star Wars, the Imperial aesthetic, as the older Obi-Wan, the Alleghenius Obi-Wan, but seeing Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan in this, like in that type of scene, it was amazing. It was really cool. I liked it a lot. So that was one of the highlights of the show for me. And just getting right into the fight, I guess. Like the choreography, amazing. Now, I think I talked about it at the top of the show, at the top of the stream, but I'm not a fan of the prequel fight choreography. Like parts, I've been rewatching the Anakin Obi-Wan fight a lot because prior to this and me like really diving into the prequels again like that. Um, I like the aspects when they were talking. I like them talking more so outside of Hayden Christensen's wooden dialogue, his wooden dialogue that he delivered woodenly. I don't even know if woodenly is a word, but hey, I just made it. Um, like I thought that a lot of the choreography was like it seemed like it seemed like they were dancing more so than fighting. Like especially like with the MCU out and everything now, like I'm more of like that type of fighting style. Like and even the MCU makes mistakes to me because like I said, I'm more of a fan of John Wick when it comes to fight scenes. So like that's the bar now, especially in Hollywood. Everybody's doing like the track and shot hallway type of fight and everything. And look, I'm not expecting, obviously you can't time Sif came out in '07, or '04. I forgot when Sif came out, but it came out. um so I'm not trying to sit here and just like crap on it, trying to compare it to later films, but in Kenobi, I feel like they took a lot of the more fast paced, high octane fight choreography and added it into here a lot. The only thing that I had problems with was the camera, like how they decided to shoot it. Like Star Wars, like is not known for having shaky cam, and there was a lot of shaky cam in this. Like, and I didn't care for it too much, but for the most part, we got a clear dope fight between Vader and Obi-Wan. So that was definitely like a highlight for me. Like the fight choreography was so dope, so amazing. Like and like I said, I was never a fan of like the dance like qualities of the prequel fight choreography. So this was definitely a change of pace, but I felt the stakes more so than I did in Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, or any of the prequels. Even like the original trilogy. I'm not sitting here pretending like the lightsaber fights were, the best things ever there. Like I would say that the best ones came after episode 4, like obviously Empire Strikes Back, and then Jedi as well, obviously, like to me, one of the top 5, maybe even top three lightsaber duels in Star Wars, like live action, like not the expanded materials and things like Clone Wars. Like I don't know, because even compared to Clone Wars, I would still put the Return of the Jedi throne room duel between Vader and Luke up there, even with the prequel stuff, even with that. So the fight choreography, phenomenal, amazing. What else are we going to next? And then, like like I said, those stakes were there. Like when you saw Obi-Wan go in that ditch and he had the visions of, basically, I know what I'm fighting for, da da da. Like that I like it added stakes for me personally. You know, it wasn't just them mindlessly fighting and that. So him, as soon as he jumped out there, I was like, oh yeah, Obi-Wan's about to whoop some ass. Obi-Wan's about to go up there and whoop some crispy stiff ass. And that's exactly what he did. This is probably the most powerful Obi-Wan we've ever seen, honestly. And it's crazy because just like you know, an episode ago, he was still kind of regaining his strength in the force and things like that. So like this was like General Kenobi that we saw in this show. Like that straight up, like when he lifted the rocks, you saw him doing that and everything, like looking like Jesus. I think Ewan McGregor actually played Jesus in the movie or something like that. So, but like, oh my god, and he's throwing all the rocks at him, and you see Vader like pissed. Like, oh my god, that was just amazing. But adding more to the stakes is the maskless Vader. So when Kenobi broke his mask and you saw his face. It was that scene that was reminiscent to what is it? Ahsoka versus Vader and Rebels. And that was so cool to see. And I don't know which one I thought was better. I really don't. Because with this one, like this is Obi-Wan and Anakin. But the Ahsoka one too, you know, given the history between them, you know, when I first saw it, that one hurt too. That one hit too. When she was like, I won't leave you, master. And he was like, then you will die. Like that was cool. But this one, man, like between Ewan McGregor's acting and Hayden Christensen's acting as well, man. Like I said, I think Hayden Christensen suffered, you know, he was a product of bad writing, in my opinion. Like he got handed bad writing and had a bad director directing him, and that's why we got the performance that we got from him, honestly. And it's like how he delivered his line, even with all of that, like the prosthetics on. Obviously, half the mask is still on his face, and then they even did the voice modulation and everything. But just him giving that twisted grin, like that when he was like, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did," and you saw him like grin almost. That was like, oh my god, it was very sinister, haunting. So definitely, definitely was a dope scene. Maskless Vader, I'm always here for it, especially when he's confronting people from his past, from Anakin Skywalker's past. So that was definitely amazing, dude. I almost shed a tear there when Kenobi was like, "I'm sorry, Anakin, for all of it." Like that all of it part hit me, bro. But then like you see, so and they like how they lit this scene was dope too, because on Vader's face you saw like the blue from Obi-Wan's lightsaber on his face, as if, yo, could Obi-Wan bring him back? Obviously we know canon wise that he doesn't, but could Obi-Wan bring him back from the dark side? And then after he says, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did, and then you see the red from Vader's lightsaber start shining on his face, and he was like, the same way I will destroy you. Beautiful scene. And then of course they tied it into canon, going into episode 4, um, by him saying that my friend is truly dead. Goodbye, Darth. And he calls him Darth for the first time. Doesn't call him Anakin, doesn't call him, he never, I don't think he ever called, I think he mentioned him as Vader, but he never called him Vader to his face, from what I remember. So, and seeing him walk away, and obviously in episode 4, when they fight, he calls him Darth there as well. So amazing stuff, man. Really amazing stuff. And you know, after that, honestly, I was like, just that scene was so amazing. I was just kind of tuned out because to me, they were doing like tie-in work for canon, you know, canon wise, like, oh, Bill, if you ever need me again, just call me. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You're going to call me, but you're not going to be alive because your fucking planet is going to blow up. But like that type of stuff. Him going back to like, to hug Leia, but as much as I like, because like I said, I liked Leia in this series, but you know, it was just like I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan of kids. Like they have to be really good when it comes to kids being in these type of films. Like I feel like Logan did it perfectly, did it beautifully, in my opinion. Um, but what was I saying? Oh, I feel like this ties in Leia really good with Obi-Wan, because I always found it weird in the sequel trilogy. Like, why did Leia name like Kylo Ben? She never really had that close of a relationship with Obi-Wan, but now we know that she did because of this show. And that's probably why she named her kid Ben, which is kind of cool. I think that's kind of a cool tie-in, because look, I still like Kylo despite the ending of his character and where he went, but I liked what JJ was trying to do with him. I even like some of the things Ryan Johnson did with him as well in Last Jedi. He was honestly my favorite part of that movie, Kylo Ren. And Adam Driver is just is an amazing actor. So, his performances are always going to be amazing. But it makes sense now why she would name him Ben. It made a lot of sense. And that was really dope to see. And then seeing the tie-ins later, with her going to find Obi-Wan again, and the episode 4 beginning of that film. So the only thing that doesn't make sense in comics Explain brought this up. He was like, so Leia just never told Luke that she knew Obi-Wan, and so there I recognize that, but I think it's more of a good tie-in in terms of canon wise than the bad. Like the good outweighs the bad, and that's what my overall feelings about this show is. Even with a character like Reva, like I would like to see her in another Star Wars project in the future, but given the whole controversy that surrounded her and things like that, the actress, I don't know if she would want to come back. It could be another John Boyega situation where John Boyega doesn't want to come back for Star Wars, which sucks because I think Finn can be redeemed in expanded material. That's why I'm like, can we please get past the Empire era and get into the sequel trilogy? The First Order era, please. And I'm done with that. I want to see y'all expand on the shit that y'all created. And I know they're trying to let time pass before people, okay, I'm ready to see all these characters, but can we please get into that? Can you start fixing what you fucked up with that, please? Besides going back and fucking up the Imperial era canon, please. Thank you. And so yeah, I hope she pops up in a future project because I think her character was dope. Her storyline was dope, but it was the pacing, the way they paced the character, and a lot of the writing as well was just so. But that scene between her and Vader, like I'm gonna get to that when I get my overall thoughts on the show. But and lastly, I guess on this show, is that my last thoughts? Oh yeah, I wish Qui-Gon would have been in the show more. Like it was cool to see what's his face taking guy Liam Neeson. It was good to see him come back. Obviously he's dope as Qui-Gon. I like he was another highlight in the prequels for me. I liked him as Qui-Gon. But it was like, I wish we could have had you more. I really wish we could have had you more, man. But it is what it is. And then last but not least, they did it. They had the callback. Well, hello there. Like they did it at the end, but they did it in reference of him saying hi to Luke. He met Luke for the first time. So that was a cool little, a neat little callback and everything like that. So yeah. So I guess I'll just go in, switch gears into just my overall thoughts on the show. Like I said, I like the series a lot, but I didn't love it. I thought I would, but I ended up not, loving it, but I liked it. This is the best Vader we ever got. I don't care what anybody says. Like in terms of live action stuff, this is the best Vader we've ever got. Honestly, for real, it's the best Vader we ever got. They incorporated so much of the now Legends material into this Vader, like brought different aspects in. Like that scene in episode 6. I should have talked about this. That scene in episode 6 where you see Vader like, we will scholar universe for Kenobi. I don't care what it takes to do it. We're going to do it. And like Palpatine was just like, nah, bro, you need to chill. I'm paraphrasing, but nah, you need to chill. It sounds like Anakin Skywalker's still in there. Do we need to do something about that? And then you see Vader switch up real quick. He was like, nah, I serve you, bro. I got you. Like, I'm straight. Fuck Kenobi. He a bitch. Yo. So, man, so many dope things in the show. Best Vader we ever got. And like I said, Reva had the potential to be a great character, but they squandered it with bad pacing and writing. I'm hoping they'll do something with her in the future. Maybe animation, bring Moses back to voice the character, and see how she feels about coming back, live action if she feels up to doing it. So a lot of dope things about this show. I don't think it's nearly as bad as the fans are painting it out to be. And again, these are the same fans that will go cocksuck George Lucas in the prequels when those movies are garbage. I don't care what you say. They're garbage. The prequels are complete and utter trash. Like I said, they have redeeming qualities because of the expanded material, like Clone Wars and things like that, and the books and comics and all that. So those are my overall opinions on Kenobi. I wrapped up my episode 6 review as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the show or enjoyed the stream of me talking about it. But what matters most is, what did you guys think of the show? Hop in the comment section down below. Let me know whether you thought you agree with me. You think George Lucas and the prequels were trash. So why are people bitching when that was trash? Or you love the prequels and you thought the show was trash, or both? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. And as always, like, subscribe, and share all that. As always on the channel, tune into Extendo Clip Podcast. A new episode just dropped, episode 10 dropped. Go check that out. What else we got going on? Oh, Thursday, I'm going to be doing a review of The Boys episode 6, the Hero Gasm episode. That's going to be a fun stream. Like, The Boys is my favorite show on TV right now. I'm really loving The Boys. And this episode, like, I watched it like in the morning before I went to work. So I'm up at like 4 a.m. watching this show. And like, oh my God, my aunt came downstairs like, boy, shut up, you being loud. Because I'm sitting here yelling like, ah, ah. So yo, get ready for that review, bro. I'm really loving The Boys right now. And yeah, that's all what's upcoming. And yeah, thanks guys for tuning into the stream. Peace. Be easy.